Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvasesha Sanyavani Paschachari Shatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna, welcome everyone. Nice to see some new faces. I've seen some of you I've not seen before, although I come more or less every year. If you want, you can put the screens down. I don't know if that will make any difference. You might make it a little bit brighter for the pictures. You can even... Today we're going to be doing mostly a PowerPoint presentation. And the reason being is Haribol, and bye, Hare Krishna. This week has been a very historic week in the history of Iskcon. Iskcon is the short term of the name of this association, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So today we will be dealing with one of those. Actually, we'll be covering the others a little bit. Historic events. And why is it historic? Well, let's see, today is what, the 14th or something? 14th of September. And so those who are regulars, those who've been practicing for some time, will obviously know why it's so historic and significant. 3 days ago on our Western calendar, we call Gregorian calendar, was September the 11th. Now, obviously in our modern age, September the 11th rings a bell. Maybe not a very nice bell, but it rings a bell in most people's minds. It was a day when the Twin Towers were dismantled, one way or another. So that was on September the 11th. It was not by chance, but by whatever reason it was. But on September the 11th, our spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, not in 2001, but in 1969, it was a different year altogether, but in 1969 he set foot on the English soil, so to speak. He arrived in Heathrow Airport on September the 11th, 1969 for the first time. So that's one significant factor. Then during this week, well, we're mixing up a little bit here, but not that much, because on more or less the same day, actually, I think it was the 9th of September, Srila Prabhupada was on the ocean going towards the equivalent of this year's 9th, going towards America. And on board that boat, he wrote one famous poem, Prayers to the Lotus Feet of the Lord. And it's a beautiful poem, which we're not going to cover today, but very significant. Prabhupada was keeping a diary on board of the boat of his daily events which were taking place. He then, of course, yesterday, September the 13th, on our calendar this year, the equivalent in 1965, which is the year when Srila Prabhupada arrived. September the 17th was the Gregorian date, but today we're going by the Vaishnava calendar. It's a calendar which is composed, it's a lunar calendar, it's not a solar one. So on the lunar calendar it would be the equivalent of the 17th of September, which is today on our Gregorian or solar calendar is the 14th. So it's actually today is the equivalent of Srila Prabhupada's arrival, 1965, in Boston, in America, the boat arrived. Well, we'll be hearing about that. Now, how many years ago is that? Some of you can work that out if you've got a degree in mathematics or something like that. Somebody said something back there. Who said something?
60.
50, 60, 70. Any rise on 70? Seems like forever. Who said 60? Hands up. 2 of you. Okay. Who said 70?
That was me, and then I changed my mind.
Okay. Who said 50? Somebody, I heard 50 pop out somewhere. Maybe they're too embarrassed by now. Well, the vote was 60, 2-1. Okay. Yes, it was 60 years ago, if you use your computer or your calculator or something these days. But 60 years ago on this day, not this day, yesterday, our spiritual master Srila Prabhupada arrived in America. So it's a long story, and today we're going to... This is a picture, by the way. This is not from 1965. This is about 1968, I think, when Srila Prabhupada went back to Boston, and he's walking along the pier, looking out across the harbour. And this is basically what the situation was in 1965. He was alone, completely alone, and, well, with the captain of the ship in the case of Boston. He stepped off the boat and walked onto the shore in Boston for an hour or so, and then back on the boat. We'll hear more about that. So this is Boston, USA. Today is a very big festival there, yesterday and today, to celebrate this event, 60 years since the Hare Krishna movement came to America. And since this Iskcon movement began, because it's officially begun the year after, but this was the first step in terms of its entry into the Western world. It's an eternal program, it's not a new movement, it's the oldest movement in the universe, because it is the nature of the eternal self. It's nothing to do with religion, only as much as religion assists the awakening of our self-realization of our eternal nature. Our eternal nature is not to be a Hindu, Christian, Muslim or Buddhist. These are just hopefully vehicles to help us to realize our eternal nature. Unfortunately, we get caught up with identifying with them and even fight over it sometimes and miss the whole point. The point is to love God, or to realize our relationship with Him and our eternal relationship, not just a sentiment, I am His servant, but to actually realize our actual relationship. If you say to someone, what you know, the man, the woman, what's your relationship with your wife? You say, I'm married. Okay, it's true. Nothing more? No, nothing more. I know nothing about her. I don't want to know anything about her, really. I'm married, that's all. Full stop. Well, you know, it's a start. You generally know a little bit about your wife or your husband. You might not be so good, but at least you sometimes know something. There's some relationship there. It's not like we're just robots going around. I am married to Mrs. So-and-so, Mrs. So-and-so is married to Mr. So-and-so. It's a personal relationship which has numerous aspects of emotional exchange. That doesn't exist if it's not there in our relationship with God. The reason it's there is because it's there in our eternal nature. But we generally don't go that far because we're still stuck on the material nature. And religion is not just meant to facilitate our material nature, it's meant to help us to get free of it. To get free from this bodily identification. We all identify with the body, we're very attached. So religion is supposed to help us step by step, it takes time. But generally it only takes us so far because it's based upon Swanamitika Dharma, based upon material principles. It's not based upon absolute, well, it's related, but it's not very deep, put it like that. Anyway, we'll move on with today's subject. I can't even remember where we're starting here. Okay. Now this is something very interesting. Many of you are not aware of this. Maybe one or two of you are. We said some prayers before we began speaking a few minutes ago, and one of those prayers, Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namane, and so on. These are the prayers we offer to our spiritual master. We're offering our respects to him and basically taking shelter of his instruction or his guidance to help us in evolving in Krishna consciousness. Now, this is a similar one. However, this pranam, this offering, a mantra offering to Srila Prabhupada, was compiled by Srila Govinda Maharaj, who was a disciple of one of Prabhupada's godbrothers. He compiled this. Prabhupada actually asked for this. It was both ways. And Srila Sridhar Maharaj very much appreciated and wanted that this offering should be made to our spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada. He was a very dear godbrother of our Srila Prabhupada. So he compiled this beautiful offering, or pranams, respectful pranams, to Srila Prabhupada. And Srila Prabhupada very much appreciated it. In fact, there was sometimes a note, don't hear it now, but sometimes it was offered to Prabhupada. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Swami Shri Bhaktivedanta Prabhupadaya Te Namah Guru Bhagam Shirasiritva Shakthyavesha Svarupine Hari Krishna Te Mantrena Paschatya Prachatarine Vishvacharya Prabharya Devya Karunya Muktaye Shri Bhagavata Madhurya Gita Jnana Padayine Gaura Shri Rupa Siddhanta Saraswati Nishedine Radha Krishna Padam Bojo Bringaya Gurave Namaha. Little translation here. He's offering his humble obeisances unto his divine grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who is Krishna's beloved associate, and who came down to this plane from Goloka. Goloka is the eternal abode of Krishna. He's not like us. These personalities, in our Shakti-Vesh avatars, Nityasiddhas, they are eternal associates of God. They're not conditioned in the material world like we are. They're ambassadors of the spiritual world. As Jesus said, in the world but not of it. They come from the spiritual realm on the desire of the Lord to try to help to wake us up from our illusion. We're all in illusion, thinking the goal of life is to achieve some material objective, happiness in this world and so on. That's not the goal of life. To be happy is, but not in this world. We don't belong in this world. We're fish out of water, basically. Taking the order of his guru on his head, he is the Shakti-Vesh empowered avatar of Nityananda Prabhu personified. Not an ordinary statement, is it? Empowered avatar of Nityananda personified. This is coming from, a devotee outside of our official Iskcon movement. He's a very elevated Vaishnava, but he's of course from the same branch, you could say. He distributed the Hare Krishna mantra all over the Eastern and Western world, delivering and uplifting all fallen souls. He is the best of millions of Jagat Gurus. Please come in. Please come in. Make yourself at home. I don't know if you have more chairs, if anyone needs a chair. Anyways, find a spot somewhere. That's quite a statement too. The best of millions of Jagat. You know what a Jagat Guru is? Jagat Guru? What's a Jagat Guru? Jagat means world. It can mean universe even. Pardon? It can be universal. The universal teachers. There are many persons who may claim that, but they do nothing really to show by their behavior that they are such. But there may be others who are, but no one has really done what our Srila Prabhupada has done, gone into the lowest and most degraded situation you can imagine in the world at the time, practically speaking. Drug crazed, sex crazed, so-called culture, situation, and transformed drug addicts, madmen practically, grew like madmen, into devotees, or some kind of, at least servants of devotees of Krishna. That is the miracle. Other things like making gold are insignificant. They have zero value whatsoever, no indication of the elevation of the person who does it. A magician can do that. It is not at all a spiritual activity. Don't be befooled by such persons. And do these things, walking on water, flying in the sky. Witches can do that. It is not a godly act. It's to transform the lives of conditioned souls. That is what determines a spiritually advanced person. Don't be befooled by mundane glitter. He has distributed the sweet nectar. He is the personification of divine mercy. He has distributed the sweet nectar of Srimad Bhagavatam and the transcendental knowledge of Bhagavad Gita all over the world. Well, that Bhagavad Gita, you could say, is the only one which has transformed people's lives. Otherwise it remains an interesting philosophy of speculation with no practical application, hardly, or misapplication in most cases. Even great souls are heralded as great souls by many people, but they do not understand what is Bhagavad Gita, who is Krishna. They think Krishna is the impersonal Brahman, or unmanifested, within or something or another. He's not. He's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's the most person of all persons. And it's simple as that. We just have to make our relation. He's the one speaking Bhagavad Gita, not you or me or somebody else. Who are we to say what he's saying? He says what he says, and that's what it is. We don't need to interpret it. Sri Prabhupada just said exactly as it is what Krishna said. And that is how the transformation, otherwise we remain in a speculative world or a materialistic world. If we love someone, we follow what they say, not what we say. He is constantly engaged in exclusive devotional service to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, that was his spiritual master's name. Srila Rupa Goswami, who was one of the greatest proponents, or let's say, deliverers of the pure line of devotion to Krishna, the philosophy and the pure devotion. And Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, who is the manifestation of the merciful form of Krishna in this age of Kali. I offer my humble obeisances unto Srila Prabhupada, who was like a bumblebee, always tasting the nectar of the lotus feet of Shri, Radha and Govinda. And those who know, these are amazing words. Now we're going to read another one. This is a painting of Srila Prabhupada, by the way. Beautiful painting, an early day painting, or painting of an early day pose. This is a beautiful Vyasa Puja. Vyasa Puja means an offering devotees made to their spiritual master on their birthday. So, which wasn't long ago when Srila Prabhupada honored his birthday a few weeks ago. But this is by one of my godbrothers named what's his name now? BBT editor in San Diego. Dravida. And you can follow along if you can. Trapped within samsara's all-devouring blazing fire, we had no hope of rescue till your Guru's strong desire inspired and empowered you to boldly cross the sea and teach the truths of bhakti so some souls would be set free. O Prabhupada, your mercy, only my treasure now, and to your soothing lotus feet I bow. I'm just going to get my instruments together here. I don't know where I put them. Someone's got a madanga? Get the madanga, please. Who knows how to play a madanga? Anyone? Pick up a madanga. There we go. Whoever knows. It's a very simple beat. It'd be nice if I have a button presser here with two eyes and one finger. That's all you need. You know how to press buttons? No, the buttons are here. Up, no, maybe you don't know. Who would like to come forward? Okay, anyone who's close at hand. So I don't have to stop playing these little cymbals. You can press once now. There would be pictures of Prabhupada in between. These are his books, some of them, the early days. The books were so important in spreading this knowledge, Krishna consciousness. If you haven't got the books, get them. Okay, next button. Patiently you taught us how to chant the holy name, and how to dance and how to sing, and what was life's true aim. And thus you gave us Lord Chaitanya's teachings unalloyed, and saved us from the all-devouring Mayavadi void. O Prabhupada, we can sing together. O Prabhupada, your mercy is my only treasure now. Unto your soothing lotus feet I bow. Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. That's in San Francisco, 1974 or 5, at the Rath Yatra. We had a Rath Yatra yesterday in Brighton on the seashore. It was amazing. It was raining all morning, and the wind was blowing. Then at 2 o'clock when the Rath Yatra started, the sun came out. The wind still blew, but it wasn't so blowy. And then when we left, I looked at the weather report. It was pouring with rain again by about 7 or 8 o'clock at night. Just at the 4 or 5 hours of the Rath Yatra, the weather was okay. When Krishna Bhakti sped and you had centers here and there, you introduced the worship of the deities so fair. And soon throughout the world their lordship smiled upon your crew, and nourished strong devotion to themselves and unto you. O Prabhupada, your mercy is my only treasure now. Unto your soothing lotus feet I bow. Jai Prabhupada, compassion personified. Prasadam was your special weapon, no one could resist. Once the Sunday feast had started, no one could desist. Halava, sweet rice, crisp pakors, subjuice poor as rice. With these and other preps you did their tongues and hearts entice. O Prabhupada, your mercy is my only treasure now. Unto your soothing lotus feet I bow. Jai Prabhupada, Los Angeles. The books you showered down upon the masses and on us taught scripture's sacred essence, bhakti pure and nectarous. And while you wrote to relish Shri Radha Krishna's name, and form and pastimes, qualities and everlasting fame. O Prabhupada, your mercy is my only treasure now. Unto your soothing lotus feet I bow. That's Srila Prabhupada at Bhaktivedanta Manor in 1974 probably. 73 we had a different Vyasas, and I think that was there in 73. While managing your Iskcon with the whole world as your stage, meeting, preaching, traveling like a man of half your age, you serve the Lordship Shri Radha Krishna in your heart, arranging for their pastimes in Vrindavan's secret part. O Prabhupada, your mercy is my only treasure now. Unto your soothing lotus feet I bow. Prabhupada in Mayapur, he's just ringing the bell, going round today to his disciples. Probably 1976, probably, or 5, mostly 6. The Guru is as good as God, you said, and some were shocked. But you had simply quoted scripture, you did not concoct. And sure enough, for those who worship you as they would God, the path of bhakti opens wide and joyfully is God. O Prabhupada, your mercy is my only treasure now. Unto your soothing lotus feet I bow. Jai Prabhupada. If you bestow your mercy, then Sri Krishna gives his too. But if your mercy is lacking, then there's nothing we can do. So every day we should reflect upon your life sublime, and vow to serve you always with your body, words, and mind. Oh Prabhupada, your mercy is my only treasure now. Unto your soothing lotus feet I bow. Jai Prabhupada. I pray that my small hymn, no lacking literary worth, presented here in presented here in Newcastle, the most sacred place on earth. I'm not sure about that. Maybe. I find some favor both within you and with your devotees, who hover around your lovely lotus feet like Madam Bee. Oh Prabhupada, I pray that you bestow your mercy now, unto your soothing lotus feet I bow. Haribo. Vivida Prabhu ki jai. There are many similar beautiful poems which devotees have written, and many songs we could sing to enter into the mood. The whole idea of this is to enter into the association. Everything in our lives is developed by association. Your concepts, who you think you are, your desires, everything, even the body we've got, is based upon our association over countless years, lifetimes after lifetimes, resulting in our present condition. And what we associate with in this life determines our future, coupled with whatever's still there from the past, you could say. It molds our consciousness, and whatever our consciousness is at the time of death determines our future births. You can read all this in Bhagavad Gita if you probably all got it, but I doubt whether many of you have actually read it. And if you haven't, you haven't really imbibed the message very much. Unfortunate to say, but that's usually what happens. We don't usually apply the medicine. The doctor can give you medicine, but what's the use of the medicine? It sits there in a bottle forevermore. Yes, I've got the medicine, but you're not taking it. It's meant to cure our disease of bodily identification, cure our ignorance, cure this. It's a fever, this fever for material sense enjoyment. It's a fever. Cause of all the problems, by the way, wars, pestilence, everything is due to this selfish desire for sense gratification. Like it or lump it, but that's how it is. Now, you may know who this painting is, a painting of who? Looks like he's flying in the air in the middle of the universe somewhere. Narada Muni, somebody said, yes, Narada Muni playing on his veena. He's, again, this is impossible for mundane persons to understand, but it's impossible for a mundane person to even understand how their own body works, what to speak of anything beyond this planet. We have no idea what's inside the center of the earth, where we came from, why we are where we are. We are so ignorant that it's unbelievable. And then we have all these claims about, knowing where the universe began and this and that. It's all hoax, but anyway, what to do? We take, and there's two ways of acquiring knowledge, one the ascending, one the descending. The ascending process will go on forever and never reach the end. The descending process comes down from the source of knowledge. It's not something concocted by man. What we're saying is from Bhagavad Gita, from scripture. It's not our invention, as some people like to do. The Narada Muni is described many times in the ancient Vedic literatures as a totally spiritual person. He's not material. He doesn't have a material body. So he can travel as he wills or appear, let's say, anywhere at his will within this universe, anytime he likes. But we're going to take the story back now. I don't know how much time we've got, probably not enough. We're going to go back a few years. I wish there was a back to this sun here. I'm going to fall backwards otherwise. What to do? I'll try to keep it straight. 5,000 years or so ago, this age we're in is called the age of Kali. Kali means what? It doesn't mean what. What does it mean? What does Kali mean, literally?
Bad.
Pardon?
Bad.
Huh?
Something bad.
You could say that.
Dark.
But literally. Pardon?
Dark.
Dark, it could be said to be dark. Anything else about this age? Literal translation.
Quarrel?
Quarrel. Quarrel. You can say the same thing. Miserable. All good. All bad, whichever way you look at it. Age of quarrel, particularly the age of quarrel. Quarrel is very prominent. We quarrel over anything. Colour of your hair, how many hairs you've got. You can quarrel over anything. Type of spectacles you've got. Everything. It can be a cause of quarrel. That's just one of the prominent symptoms. It's the nature of Kali, personality. The personality is meant to influence the thinking of people in this age which we're in. And he influences you like that. To see yourself, your own knowledge as being supreme. You quarrel with others over these things. Your own, whatever it is, body, your own nation, your own religion, your own football team. Whatever it is, you quarrel with others over these things. Very easily. Misunderstanding. Anyway, we're not getting to the depths. But Narada Muni was seeing the impending nature of this age approaching already, and he was very, very concerned. The nature of even the material world of a person in mode of goodness is their concern with suffering of others, even without spiritual realization. They're concerned. So Narada Muni was very concerned, not just because people were, short-lived, quarrelsome, lazy, misguided, and disturbed, and so on and so forth, but the mere fact that there was not hardly an opportunity for people to get free of this, because they're so engrossed in a very materialistic age, so engrossed in material pursuits. So he was very fearful. He was not fearful, he was very concerned, compassionate, disturbed. What to do about this age? People, it's a terrible age. The poor people are going to be suffering like hell. So he went to see Krishna. Krishna was still on the planet. So he went to see Krishna. Hari Bol, Krishna Priya. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Where's Prema? He didn't come?
Prema's here.
Prema's here. Hari Bol Prema. Jai. So he went to see Krishna, Krishna that time was in Dwarka. There's a long story, I'll cut it real short. And Krishna assured him, don't worry, that in this age, I will be appearing. And I will be giving the most wonderful opportunity for the inhabitants of this planet, particularly this planet, to become delivered from their, awful situation we're in. Total ignorance. Have no fear. You please spread this news everywhere. So he's going, spreading this great news around the universe. The Lord will appear in Kali Yuga. Normally he appears in hidden form also. This is also hidden form he's going to appear. Even though Buddha is an expansion of the Lord, it's an empowered expansion to prepare the way. And then he appears at the end of the age as Kalki, but that's another thing. But actually positive in this age, the Lord will appear in this particular Kali Yuga as Lord Chaitanya. And then Narada Muni went even into the spiritual realm because he's an eternal associate of the Lord. He went to Vaikuntha, he went to Nilachal, he went to everywhere, Dwarka, everywhere. Let's say, taking darshan of the Lord. He eventually went to Goloka Vrindavan, the abode of Radha and Krishna. Right there and then, he fell at the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna, and then Radha and Krishna transformed themselves into the golden form known as Gauranga, Lord Gauranga. And Lord, this is explained in Nata Samhita, is corollary of, I can't remember, one of the Puranas somewhere. And Lord Gauranga said to him, he said, have no fear. He said, I will destroy the sinful activities of the age of Kali with a powerful chopper of Namasankirtan. I'll cut the hard knots of demoniac desires from the hearts of everyone. Even if the sinners reject religion or flee to foreign countries, still they will get my mercy. I will send Morsenapati Bhakta, my chief field commander, to go everywhere and deliver them. This is written in Samhita's, I can't remember exactly which scriptures it comes out of, it's one ancient scripture. that this will happen in this Kali Yuga, that his chief field commander will go all over the world spreading Nama Sankirtan, which is the Iti Shodasha Kamana Karakama Shanashana, is the only counteracting method or process to really counteract the root, not just the effects, but the root problem that we're identifying with this material world, we're attached to this material world, and so on and so forth. We have to live in it, we have to do our duty, but unfortunately most of us become entangled like anything. So this is the method. And not only that, to cut those knots, as Kamara going to do, to cut the knots, but to awaken in every one of us this relationship, this memory of a relationship with the Supreme Lord. Make sure they get prasadam. Make sure these guests get prasadam before they go, please. Who's in charge here? I don't know. Make sure they get prasadam. Nobody should leave without prasadam. Ladies, don't go. Make sure they're running away. Make sure they get prasadam, please. And a book. At least one. So this is Lord Chaitanya with his associates coming to spread praying, love of God, praying Sankirtan, and through the congregational chanting of the holy name. It's simple. People are simple and rather dull in this age, brainless, lacking intelligence. Krishna Varna Tusha Krishna Sangopangas the Parshadam Bhagavatam states intelligent people in this age of Kali will worship the Lord by the performance of Sankirtan Yogya, by chanting the holy name. That is intelligent people, not the ones who study the Vedas. They will never come to this conclusion. That was quick. You just came back, or you two different people?
The same, Mom.
Oh, same. That was really quick. She changed her mind. I drove you out and she drove you back in again. Good, good. I'll try not to drive you out again. I'll get a little hard sometimes. So this is it's so simple, and we don't need a big brain to chant Hare Krishna. In fact, you have a big brain, it's more difficult to chant. There's so much stuff in there. But just keep your life simple and chant Hare Krishna, and it's perfection of life. And go back to Godhead. Distributing love of God, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates did not consider who was a fit candidate, who was not. Nor was such distribution should or should not take place. They made no conditions. Wherever they got the opportunity, the members of the Panchatattva, that's Lord comes with his associates, close associates, they're called the five tattvas, the five truths, Panchatattva. They distributed love of God. The flood of love of God swelled in all directions. And thus young men, old men, women and children were all immersed in an inundation. A magnetic attraction. The Krishna conscious movement will inundate the entire world and drown everyone, whether one be a gentleman, rogue, or even lame, invalid, or blind. That's from the Chaitanya Charitamrita scripture, which was compiled maybe 500 or 600 years ago, more 500 years ago now. And I'm going to jump over. This is an order of Lord Chaitanya for everyone to take this up and spread this movement, give this knowledge to others. This is the only panacea for those suffering in this age of Kali, is Krishna consciousness, particularly the chanting of the holy name. And then we're going to bounce forward a few. We're missing out many of the other facts and figures and whatever, statements of the times, but we're jumping forward because of time. This is a painting of a great personality named Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who appeared in the world almost 200 years ago. He appeared in 1838 in India, and not far in Bengal. Some of you may be from Bengal. And his life mission was to, let's say, resurrect and present to the world the teachings of Krishna, the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, in a way that people could apply in their lives. The pure bhakti, Shuddha bhakti, pure devotional service. And he was definitely another transcendentalist. I mean, he wrote hundreds of books. He was the chief magistrate for decades in Orissa. He had 12 children, and he wrote hundreds of books and hundreds of songs, and he established 550 centers of Krishna consciousness. No ordinary person could even think of any one of those things. I think you ladies would be busy with 12 children. I don't know. How many of you got? Anyone got 12 kids? These ladies have 12 children. You have to work pretty hard to maintain in this day and age. People are so poor in this age. When I was a kid, many people had 10 children, only the husband worked and there was no problem. Now husband and work, you're from a big family?
My mother had 13.
13 children, just see. You know, they survived. And maybe sometimes they die anyway. Yeah. They kill most of them in the womb these days. You know, they can't even maintain one kid. Both husband and wife are working. What a nonsense society. You're crazy. Both husband and wife are working. You can't even maintain one kid in an apartment. And eating rubbish food. Isn't it? Be honest. It's a struggle, isn't it? You have to go to college for 6 years. For what reason? So you have to work like a dog for the rest of your life to pay back all the bills. The college bills, your mortgage bills, your car bills, because you have to work 100 miles away. It's mad. And people are so enamored by it all. They're so out of touch with who they are and what the material world is all about. It's unfortunate, but what to do? We have to live with times that are with thee. So be practical. How we can live in this world but not be captivated and overwhelmed by it. I know when you become overwhelmed by it, it's not just being overwhelmed and being an enjoyer. You're afraid, you're in anxiety, you're depressed, you get angry, you become lusty, you become greedy. It never ends. Never ends. I mean, all the time people are protesting about this and that, isn't it? You kick one government out, 2 weeks later you want to kick the next one out, right? There's no choice. It's like ants on a piece of wood burning at both ends. Nobody knows what to do. The leaders have no idea either. I guess they're trying their best, but they don't really know what to do. Oh, they do it. Certainly not satisfying the people, that's for sure. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is very practical also, very wise man, materially, spiritually, everything. So he found this foundation for this mission to spread out of India at least. And he made some predictions. These predictions were in 1886. Bhaktivinoda prayed for and foretold the fulfillment of Lord Chaitanya's prediction, which was all over the world, this movement spread, in one of his magazines, and they're still available. Lord Chaitanya did not advance himself to liberate only a few men of India. Rather, his main objective was to emancipate all living entities of all countries throughout the entire universe and preach the eternal religion. We have a little way to go yet. Very soon the unparalleled path of Harinam Sankirtan, chanting the holy names, will be propagated all over the world. Already we are seeing the symptoms. Oh, for that day when the fortunate English, French, Russian, German and American people will take up banners, madungas and cartels and raise kirtan, chanting through their streets and towns. When will that day come? Well, it's happening. It's happening. I don't know how many temples we have, centers we have, maybe 1,000 or 2,000 around the world now. 1,000 or 2,000.
1,273.
Huh?
1,273.
How many?
1,273.
1,276 official ones. And that's just official ones. There are hundreds and thousands of unofficial centers. He's one of Iskcon statistics men. He's part of that department in Iskcon. How many arthayatras? I bet you don't know that one. Nobody knows. No, it was 700 and something before COVID. I think it's gone back up again, probably a few more now.
More than 1,200.
More than 1,200 now, I think. Rathayatras around the world in Iskcon. And then outside there are so many others in the same branch. The godbrothers of Srila Prabhupada were also followers and they're also doing something here and there. Nothing comparatively in quantity, of course, but still it's going on. Oh, for that day when the fair-skinned men from their side will raise up the chanting, Jai Sachinandana, Jai Sachinandana, Ki Jai, and join with the Bengali devotees. When will that day be? On such a day they will say, our dear brothers, we have taken shelter of the ocean of Lord Chaitanya's love. Kindly embrace us. When will that day come? And everyone can come together and love each other, spiritually. That day will witness the holy transcendental ecstasy of the Vaishnava Dharma to be the only Dharma It's not a religion, it's its eternal nature of the soul. And all sects and religions will flow like rivers, because that's what they're meant for, to come to that point of pure love of God. Will flow like rivers into the oceans of Vaishnava Dharma. When will that day come? And then he said, a little bit later he penned this one, a personality will soon appear to preach the teachings of Lord Chaitanya and move unrestrictedly over the whole world with his message. So it's pointing in a certain direction here. And then in 1896, in Calcutta, this is a picture of the 1890s as far as I could find. I've searched for it. Sorry I haven't got everything together today. I was rushing to put things in order before coming down here. And this is a picture of Calcutta. You don't see many cars on the street. See horse and carriage. Can you remember that? Anyone can remember horse and carriage? Anyone remember the horse and carriage? There were some horses and carriages when I was a kid in the early 50s. Very few. Some of the farmers would come in with a horse and carriage for their vegetables. You saw also in India? In India there would be, but even in the West there were still a few. Not many, but a few. Huh?
Maybe 1,000 in Lucknow.
Lucknow, you're from Lucknow? Huh? You're very lucky. Now you have also got, now you have luck also. Lucknow, taking shelter of Krishna. Beautiful city. Looks a bit like Lucknow also in the old days. Centre of Lucknow. Anyway, that was the stage. It was the same here, maybe 100 years or more ago. It was all horse and carriage. Cars were almost unknown. Now you don't see many horses. Maybe the king or their queen goes in a horse or carriage, or some few, very rare. So Prabhupada, our spiritual master, was born in 1896 in Calcutta. His father, Gurmohan De, his mother Rajini on the left. Actually, this is Prabhupada with his first son, and his father's on the right as we see it. He got married. He was married. His father got him married, of course. He was after his student life. His father was a great devotee of Krishna. Prabhupada said he was a pure bhakta, a pure devotee of Krishna. Both his mother and father were great Vaishnavas. So he grew up in that family of Vaishnavas. So right from birth he was a devotee. And he got married, was working in the arrangement of one of his father's associates, working in a chemical business. He was helping to manage actually in that young age. And in 1922 he met his spiritual master in Calcutta. Anyone from Calcutta? You're from Calcutta? You know Altadinga? Yeah, it was there that he met his spiritual master. And it's an amazing place. If ever you go to Calcutta, you must go there. It's now an Iskcon property, and it's the most amazing atmosphere. You won't believe it. It's so intense. It's so much like you feel. Isn't it? You were there. We were there together a couple of times. So intense, isn't it? But so uplifting and so spiritual. You can feel the act. It's still like 1922 or something. You can feel it. It's so amazing. So there he received his instruction, Prabhupada, from his spiritual master. In the middle, that's Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj painting. On the right, in the front, is a painting of Srila Prabhupada. By Charan, his name was then. And he received the instruction right at their first meeting, that you are an educated young man. You should try to make your mission in life to preach this message of Lord Chaitanya in the English language all over the world. That was at his first meeting. Can you believe it? Any of you coming for the first time today? Yeah. First timers? Several of you are coming for the first time today. So this is a bit new, quite a lot of you. So imagine if you were given an order today. So now you are what's your native language? Hindi or what? What's your native language?
Kannada.
Kerala? You're from Kerala? Canada. Oh, you're from Karnataka. Karnataka. So you're from Karnataka. So you're very expert in the Kannada language. You should immediately go. Well, of course, Karnataka is just a state. It's not spoken outside of Karnataka very much. But the English language is spoken all over the world, Even in Karnataka, many people like yourself, many educated people, they all know English, right? Educated people do, college students and so on and so forth. Much of the education is often in English. And this is even in France, Many of the colleges are teaching in English. here in France. Students from all over the place come there to go to university, and they only teach English, and they don't speak French, never speak a word of French. So, English somehow or another, for better or for worse, has become like a worldwide language in various ways. So, Canada's not a worldwide language in the same way. But even if you were told to go back to Karnataka and preach now for the rest of your life, you'd probably, what? You think, what is this? You joking? Prabhupada took that to heart. Well, he didn't do it right away, but it really penetrated his heart. So powerful, a powerful instruction from this great saintly person. And in 1933, 11 years later, he took initiation from that same personality. Diksha, spiritual commitment, spiritual initiation from Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, 1933. And then later on, he retired. He had 3 or 4 children. He retired from his business, his family life in the early 50s. And he dedicated his life then to trying to see how he could fulfill this need, this instruction, this mission of Lord Chaitanya, to give this opportunity all over the world, everywhere. East, west, north and south, wherever. This is a picture of inside a room in a temple in Chippewa. Chippewa, anyone from Delhi? Any Delhiites here? Anyone from Delhi? Born in Delhi?
No, not born, but worked there for 3 years.
You lived there for 3 years. You may know Chippewa. It's a famous quarter in the center of old Delhi, right next to the famous mosque there. There's a big mosque in the middle, mostly Muslim area. There's also temples there and many Hindu people there. And Prabhupada stayed there for a long time, working on seeing how writing alone with no money, just day to day managing to exist. He left everything behind. Writing magazines, Back to Godhead magazine, and trying to distribute it. A little magazine which he compiled called Back to Godhead. Very simple in those days. This one's from 1944, October. Middle of the war, he managed to get this going, into the war. And this Back to Godhead was the beginning of his literary presentation of Krishna consciousness. And he was alone. He had no institution. His institution was not interested in supporting his preaching, so he just went alone, basically. And then he moved in 1962. He moved in, he was living in Vrindavan quite a bit of time. Vrindavan is the place of Krishna's pastimes in this world, near Delhi also. And he moved to this temple called Radha Damodar in 1962, and he began to write books, particularly one book called Srimad Bhagavatam. He realized that this was really the scripture for this age, along with Bhagavad Gita, for those who really want to see a change in the world. Change in the world, they say charity begins at home, so the change begins inside us. Huh? If you don't change inside, you can't change anything outside. If we're lusty inside, you can't stop lust out. If you're unhappy inside, you can't make happiness outside. If you're not peaceful inside, you can't bring about peace outside. This is the basic premise which is lacking. So to give people this opportunity, he was writing these various literatures. And there was the famous, this is a tomb, it's called the Samadhi of Rupa Goswami, who, as we mentioned earlier, was basically the personification, you could say, of pure devotional service. He presented the philosophy in so many wonderful written format and showed the path of pure devotion. So that's his tomb or Samadhi, and that was in the same temple where Prabhupada was staying. So he took shelter. It said that same personality manifested himself, was on the spiritual platform, to our Srila Prabhupada one day and said, "Don't worry, you go ahead and take this message all over the world. I will be with you, I assure you. Do not fear." So he assured him of that. And then Prabhupada, eventually, actually, what happened was, some Indian gentleman had asked his son in America to sponsor him. Prabhupada didn't know about this. Suddenly, the paper came from the American embassy. Said, "We receive your sponsorship. Please come now and apply for your visa. We have a sponsorship." Prabhupada was shocked. Out of nowhere this came. It was like, well, of course, it was somebody he'd met, but he met many people. He had no idea it was coming. So he found, very curiously, he found out what was going on here. He went to the American embassy, but of course he had no passport. He had no passport. It wasn't easy as it is, not even easy now, but it wasn't easy then, that's for sure. He had no money, nothing. He had no business, he had no backup, he had no home, he had nothing materially. Just a great desire to fulfill the desire of the Lord. So anyway, Prabhupada himself said, passport, visa, there was no money with me and in an awkward position. My philosophy is completely different. I was to ask them, and this is going on a little bit, actually, a little bit further. I'll just mention, even that it wasn't the passport, he eventually managed to get that together with help from others. And then he got the visa, at least initially. But there's a big problem. Even getting a visa is a big problem because a personal sponsor in those days was not enough, really. He had to get a bit more than that, and he had no money to assure his being able to return to India. But somehow or another, he struggled through all this and convinced him. He got his visa and he got his passport. Then in those days, there's a thing called P form. The State Bank of India, you had to get this P form. It's a clearance from the state bank. So that, if anything goes wrong, you've got some, security. They can bring you back and pay your bills so that they don't come back on the Indian government. Well, he couldn't. How could he get that with not even a penny? He didn't have a bank account. Didn't have a penny to his name practically. But some other. These things are very, very different. I think the slide's out of place. I'm not sure. Let me see. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, here it is. P form, sanctioned by the state government. Yes. So it was applied for. No sanction was coming. Then I went to the State Bank of India. The officer, Mr. Bhattacharya, he told me, Swamiji, you are sponsored by a private man. We cannot accept it. If you were invited by an institution, we could consider. But you were invited by a private man for 1 month. And after 1 month, if you were in difficulty, there will be so many obstacles and so on. Prabhupada said, well, I've already prepared everything to go. What you have done? Why have you stopped this? No, I have decided not to sanction your P form, the officer said. No, don't do this, Prabhupada said. You'd better send to your superior. It should not be done like that. So he took my request and he sent the file to the chief officer of foreign exchange, something like that. Anyway, he's supreme man in the State Bank of India, so I went to see him. I asked his secretary, you've got such file? You kindly put to Mr. So-and-so. His name was Mr. Rao. I want to see him. So the secretary agreed. In India, a little bit of respect for sannyasis, He was a sannyasi by then. And he put the file and put my slip that I wanted to see him. I was waiting. So Mr. Rao came personally. He said, Swamiji, I have passed your case. Don't worry. And Prabhupada laughed. That was from a conversation in LA. That's a picture of Prabhupada's first passport. Indian passport to go to America. Anyway, we'll move on. Prabhupada then had to get a ticket. He got a ticket from Samati Maharaji. Now, some of you may have heard of her. She's long gone. But she was the owner of Scindia Steamship Company. They were a cargo shipping company based in Mumbai, Bombay. They had steamships, many hundreds of steamships going all around the place, delivering goods around the world also. So she was quite an affluent lady and quite influential. And Prabhupada had met her several times, and she was a Vaishnava also. She was from the Sri Ballabha Sampradaya from Gujarat. But she was a Vaishnava. She's very appreciated to Prabhupada's endeavours. So eventually, that was also a bit of a battle. She didn't want him to go because she was worried about his health. Plus, she was convinced that nobody in America will be interested in this message. They're all meat eaters. They're all drinkers. Sex is their goal, practically. What are you going to teach them? They have their own religion. You're not going to listen to us. Anyway, he convinced her, and she gave him a free ticket on board with one of her cargo boats. Gave him a free return ticket also. Free ticket on board the cargo boat. She chose the boat, so the captain was a vegetarian and Krishna-oriented man. And sure enough, on August the 13th, 1965, with all this in hand, Prabhupada boarded that boat. It was called... We'll go back to it. This boat, this is a painting of him boarding the boat. There were others went to the docks with him, but basically he was alone. And he was carrying that suitcase, that's it. pretty much the type of suitcase he had then. And he didn't have many possessions. And he boarded the boat to go to America alone, age of 70 years of age, no money. No one in America knew anything. In fact, this sponsor in America, when he got the message from Prabhupada that he was actually coming, he was shocked out of his skin. He said, "Oh my God, the Swamiji is coming!" He couldn't believe it because he'd sponsored many, on his father's request, Indians to come, but no one had ever come. But now the Swamiji is coming. You know what to make of this, you know? What are we going to do? His wife was American, he was an Indian, but his wife was American, and it was like, whoa. He could have never seen anything like it. Bald-headed, pink robes, you know, old man, paint on his forehead. I couldn't understand what we... It was a real shock. So Prabhupada got on the boat, and in Kerala, there's a city, Kochi. They loaded on, Prabhupada had, through Srimati Maharaji, arranged that 200 sets of this is actually a picture of those books, 200 sets of these books, 3 volumes of the first part of the Srimad Bhagavatam were loaded onto the boat in Kochi, in Kerala. Quite something. And they loaded them off to Prabhupada to take to America with him. So this was like, Prabhupada one time said, he said, they both said, "Srila Prabhupada, you went to America with 200 sets of the Bhagavatam." Prabhupada said, "No, I didn't. I didn't take 200 sets of Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam took me. I was just a servant of the Bhagavatam. They took me to the West." Without devotee, he doesn't think, I am doing. They're simply instruments for the love of will of God. So he said, the Bhagavatam took me. I didn't take the Bhagavatam. He wouldn't have been able to go. It was like going to battle with no weapons, you know. Good idea. Well, it's not really a good idea. Nice sentiment, but it's not realistic. So he considered this was his strength, the Srimad Bhagavatam, the holy name. And he also had these little brochures called India's Message of Peace and Goodwill. Nice little brochures. He had a few thousand. Mr. Srimati Maharaj's secretary, Mr. Choksi, had arranged for these printings to advertise the Bhagavatam and explain a little bit about the movement he hoped to establish. And that's the picture of the boat on the sea, Jaladuta. MV Jaladuta. That's a picture from the actual Scindia Steamship Company, so you know that is actually the Jaladuta, because it's a caption underneath it. It means the messenger of the water. Nice name, huh? For some saintly person crossing the ocean with the most important message, messenger of the water. Really prophetic. Prabhupada, name is there, he remembered. After all, yeah, Prabhupada said, there were 2 days I was attacked in on the ship. We had like heart attacks on the boat. It was so rough and so austere. Then you had a dream, Trivikram said. Prabhupada, one of his disciples named Trivikram. Prabhupada's servant said, what was that dream, Srila Prabhupada? And the dream was, I must come here. I restored it. It was instruction you got, Prabhupada. The dream was that Krishna, in his many forms, was bowing the row. What is it called? Rowing the boat. Bowing the row. I like that. I think I prefer that to rowing the boat. Bowing the row. Sounds funny, huh? Bowing the row. And that was a conversation Prabhupada had with some disciples. We might, talking about that journey. We have to move on. This is a quick one. So now we're going forward. He had some artifacts. He recovered. The ocean calmed down, and the last part of the journey was very smooth. And the day before he arrived in Boston, he was keeping a diary. So he said, today is the 35th day of our journey. Yesterday night at about 10:30, we have turned one wheel. Turned a different direction. Towards the northeastern corner from the Bermuda latitude toward Boston port. The captain was telling him what was going on, and Prabhupada would write it down like that. In the morning, the atmosphere was fairly cleared, and the ship was plying smoothly. The first officer told me they'd never had such an experience of the Atlantic, and he ascribed the good luck to me. I said, yes, it's all Lord Krishna's grace. Because due to my severe type of seasickness, he has himself taken charge of the ship, and there's a painting of that. That sometimes Prabhupada described this to Gargamuni. He said it wasn't like the Lord was rowing the Jaladuta. He said he was rowing a boat in front of it and pulling it through the water. Even if the sea was rough, it was made smooth. Like that. This is a painting, of course, representing the situation. Krishna assuring Prabhupada, don't worry, I'm with you. And it goes on, explains the same thing, rowing the boat oars. We shall certainly reach America port safely. The whole day was clear sunshine, but at 4 o'clock the sky all of a sudden became foggy. The sun became dim, covered by foggy weather. A very common thing in those days, off the ports, there'd be a lot of fog, the boats couldn't move. Like, 10,000 Calcutta taxis all horning at once. That's what a boat horn would sound like. The Calcutta horn, or anywhere in India, the horns. Very strong. Huh? They like their horns in India, right? People like to blow their horn in India. It's like they don't care about brakes as long as you've got a horn. That's what counts, isn't it? First thing you check is the horn in the car if it works or not. So these boats are like 10,000 all horning at once when they blow their horns, Everyone can hear for like a mile around, otherwise the boats may crash. So it's very foggy and the boat couldn't enter in. The Lord Krishna to get us out of this fog. By the grace of Lord Krishna, the fog was cleared, and after 2 or 3 hours the ship started. The whole night was not disturbing, and today, on the 36th day of the journey, we finally reached Boston at 5:30 a.m. on the 17th of August 1965. We are now on the dock at Boston. 10 a.m. the customs officers and others came on the ship. They have now issued the admittance permission, and after due checking, etc. I saw the Boston town with captain. Very nice, and I shall describe it in a separate note. So that's 36 days from leaving Calcutta. The boat started in Calcutta, went round to Colombo and to Kochi and to Boston. So then the next day, Prabhupada sailed to New York. That's the sign. And the pier he arrived on was called the Commonwealth Pier. That's just a sign on the pier today. We can still see it there. And that's a picture. That on the left, by the way, is the fish pier. It was the biggest, at least in the Western world, it was the biggest fish pier in the Western world. The one on the right is the Commonwealth Pier. Prabhupada arrived on the one on the right. You can see it's pretty run down. It's a very industrial sector of Boston. But, that's the front entrance. It looks like a railway station, but that's the front entrance of the Commonwealth Pier in Boston. That's the view from the Commonwealth Pier of the skyline of Boston City. At least it was 20, 30 years ago. It's probably changed now. When I first came, I had no money, so I got free passage through some Indian. Came by ship. So when I was on the ship at Boston Commonwealth Port, I was thinking, I've come here. I do not know what the purpose is. Because how the people will accept this movement? It's a fact. I mean, even for us, it's not easy to accept. How will people accept this movement? Let's face it, it seems so foreign to the people in general because they're so on the bodily platform. They can't understand the spiritual essence. They don't look there. So how they will understand? They are differently educated. As soon as I will say, so my dear sir, you have to give up meat eating. And so maybe for some of you in this room, this is a challenge and a half. I have to give up meat eating. And that includes onions, garlic, all sorts of things. Eggs, fish. Ooh. And illicit sex. Means no sex outside of marriage. And even within marriage, it's meant for procreation, at least for the educated or the higher rounds of society. And no intoxicants, that means no tea. Can you believe it? Indians with us today, no tea. Some of you may not take tea, maybe teetotalers, or that's no liquor, isn't it? You may not, but probably you drink tea. Most Indians drink tea. Most English people drink tea as well. They did, or coffee, now it's coffee's the thing to drink now. No coffee, no tea, no cigarettes, no liquor. Not to speak of drugs. None of these things. No gambling. All kinds of gambling are there. None of these things. They will say to me, please go home. As soon as Prabhupada would say that, he said, they would tell me, go home, Swamiji. So I was thinking, I will propose something which is impossible. Anyway, let me try. And nothing ventured, nothing gained. At least make an effort. What have we got to lose? We're going to lose everything anyway. Sometimes we try to forget that, but the fact of the matter is we lose everything, don't we? Is there anything you don't lose? You're going to lose your body one day, and it doesn't sound very nice, does it? But it's a fact, isn't it? We lose our family, we lose our money, we lose our wealth, we lose our position, we lose everything. Our health, and eventually we lose our body. So we have nothing really to lose. It's not ours in the first place. That's the basic understanding, which people don't have very much of. But this is the main thing. To realize we don't have anything, everything belongs to God. Ishavasya midam sarvam yat kinchati gachanti. Everything's the property of the Supreme Lord, not us. So we should learn to use it in His service. It belongs to Him. Then one can become free of birth and death. Free of the threefold miseries. We can get out of this dreamlike state which we're in. But most people don't want to hear it. I'll jump this one over. Here's an interesting thing. What if they don't, and are not interested in this message? Prabhupada said, we must not be disappointed. Our business is to please Krishna. Why? We must not be disappointed that no one is hearing Krishna consciousness. We will say it to the moon and the stars in all directions. We will cry in the wilderness because Krishna is everywhere. We want to get a certificate from Krishna. This man has done something for me, not popularity. If a pack of asses say you are good, what is that? We have to please Krishna's senses with purified senses. And that's the essence, to please Krishna. That will automatically involve, of course, serving others in this world in various ways, but on a deeper and spiritual plane, not based on material considerations. This year will be bigger. I've been there a few times on this day in Boston. The devotees in Boston, they hire a boat which goes around the harbour. They put the big name on there, Jaladuta. Hundreds of devotees will all get on board. We go to the Commonwealth Pier on that boat, and I haven't got the picture here, but they offer arti, as if Prabhupada's arriving on the pier, and have a whole program going around the harbour all day long to remember how fortunate we were. We don't have time. I've got so many things I wanted to share, but time is too short. We'll do it another time, maybe. But we'll just finish up. I think it's quite late. We've still got a bit of time. We're going to sing this now. This is one of our all-time favorites. It's basically speaking, I'll read the translation first, since many of you are coming for the first time. This is again a poem which was written on this day, the second day Prabhupada was in Boston. He wrote this poem in Bengali, translated into English, revealing his heart. He would always reveal his heart through poems and songs. But revealing his heart and about the daunting challenge of preaching in America. It's called Markane Bhagavat Dharma. And Markane Bhagavat Dharma literally means preaching. This Bhagavat Dharma, this eternal religion in America. There's Nitya Dharma and Naimittika Dharma. Naimittika Dharma is for those in the material world who, we're so stuck up in the material world. And Nitya Dharma is the nature of the... Dharma means nature, by the way. It doesn't mean a religion as such. It means that which is constitutional. So in the material world, these are Naimittika, means temporary. Everything is temporary. So temporary activities to help us to realize Nitya Dharma, our eternal nature, as spiritual living entities. So he's trying to express how to present Nitya Dharma, eternal Bhagavat, the relationship with Godhead in this materialistic world, especially in America. So a little translation, and I hope you can get some deep realizations from this. My dear Lord Krishna, Prabhupada Prabhupada is addressing Krishna. And we have musical accompaniment, I like it. You were so kind upon this useless soul, but I do not know why you have brought me here. Now, you can do whatever you like with me. Does anyone here know how to play harmonium? Anyone know how to play harmonium here?
You mean
Well,
to be able to follow?
I just want a nice drone in the background, which is complementary to the endeavor to speak the words here. Anyone know how to do that? I know how to moan, but I don't know how to drone. Groan and moan. But let's see if we can get a drone. There we go, he's a good droner. But I guess you have some business here. Otherwise, why would you bring me to this terrible place? Prabhupada's already seeing America as a terrible place, full of materialism, full of sense gratification, everyone addicted. Most of the population here is covered by the material modes of ignorance and passion. Absorbed in material life, they think themselves very happy and satisfied. And therefore they have no taste for the transcendental message of Vasudeva. I do not know how they will be able to understand it. But I know, my Lord, your causeless mercy can make everything possible because you are the most expert mystic. How will they understand the mellows of devotional service? Oh Lord, I'm simply praying for your mercy so that I will be able to convince them about your message. All living entities have come under the control of the illusory energy by your will. And therefore, if you like, by your will, they can also be released from the clutches of illusion. I wish that you may deliver them. Therefore, my Lord, if you so desire their deliverance, then only will they be able to understand your message. The words of Srimad Bhagavatam are your incarnation. And if a sober person repeatedly receives it with submissive oral reception, then he will be able to understand your message. It is said in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Shri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the super soul in everyone's heart and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. As soon as irrevocable loving service is established in the heart, the effects of nature's modes of passion and ignorance, such as lust, desire, and hankering, disappear from the heart. Then the devotee is established in goodness, and he becomes completely happy, thus established in the mode of unalloyed goodness. The man whose mind has been enlivened by contact with devotional service to the Lord gains positive scientific knowledge of the personality of Godhead in the stage of liberation from all material association. Thus the knot in the heart is pierced, and all misgivings are cut to pieces. The chain of fruitive actions terminated when one sees the self as master. you will become liberated from the influence of the modes of ignorance and passion, and thus all inauspicious things accumulated in the core of the heart will disappear. How will I make them understand this message of Krishna consciousness? I am very unfortunate, unqualified, and the most fallen. Therefore I am seeking your benediction, so that I can convince them, or I am powerless to do so on my own. Somehow or another, O Lord, you have brought me here to speak about you. Now, my Lord, it is up to you to make me a success or a failure, as you like. O spiritual master of all the worlds, I can simply repeat your message. So if you like, you can make my power of speaking suitable for their understanding. Only by your causeless mercy will my words become pure. I am sure that when this transcendental message penetrates their hearts, they will certainly feel gladdened and thus become liberated from all unhappy conditions of life. O Lord, I'm just like a puppet in your hands. So if you have brought me here to dance, then make me dance. Make me dance, O Lord. Make me dance as you like. I have no devotion, nor do I have any knowledge, but I have strong faith in the holy name of Krishna. I've been designated as Bhaktivedanta, and now, if you like, you can fulfill the real purport of Bhaktivedanta. Signed, the most unfortunate, insignificant beggar, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, on board the ship Jaladuta, Commonwealth Pier, Boston, Massachusetts, USA, dated 18th of September, 1965. So we'll try to sing this beautiful song. Someone can play Madanga. I don't know if you can follow. I think you can, Chaitanya. You're pretty good.
Pratik may be better at following.
Pardon?
Pratik may be better at following than me.
Who's that?
Pratik may be better at following.
Oh, is he here? Where is he? Oh, there he is. I didn't know you. Where are you living now, Pratik? I heard you ran away.
Yeah, I'm near Concepts, down south.
Concept. I think I stayed near there one year. Madanga. So when I mentioned the beginning association, what we're trying to do here really is just to try to associate with Srila Prabhupada, our spiritual master, and try to enter into his mood, try to enter into his heart. Of course that's an unending, you could say, endeavor, but at least to try to apply that in our hearts. By pleasing the pure devotees of the Lord is the way to please God. We can't go direct. Krishna doesn't accept it. We have to go through his devotees. There's another kirtan going on out there. We get started. Paro kripa kaile Krishna odame prati Paro kripa kaile Krishna. I'll start the beat. Odame prati. Little different on the last note there. Baro kripa kaile Krishna odame prati Hare Kripa, Hare Krishna, Hare Pati, Kilagya Nileta, Koro Kilagya Nileta Koro Begati Hachikichu Kajatava Eonu Icho Kajatama Eyanomane Mahakeno Anime Eugolo Stane Nahekino Anibe Eugrastane Rajastano Gunehara Samaya Rajastano Sabai Acha Vasudeva Katauchi Nahe Se Prasana Vasudeva Katauchi Nahe Se Prasana Tabe Jayati Taba Kripa Ayoy Tuki Tabe Jayati Taba Kripa Ayoy Tuki Sakali Ambaroy Tumi se utuki Sakali Ambaroy Tumi se utuki Kibave Pujale Tara Puje Srila Kibave Pujale Tara Puje Srila Hita Kripa Koro Prabhu Kori Nijabasho Hita Kripa Koro Ichaya Sava Hoy Maya Vasha Tomara Ichaya Nasha Maya Parasha Tomara Ichaya Nasha Maya Parasha Tabacha Hoitari Tadira Uda Ujibe Ishaitame Katase Toma Ujibe Ishaitabe Katase Toma Bhagavate Katase Taba Avatar Bhagavate Katase Taba Avatar Jiraya Shunejari Kane Barbar Jiraya Shunejari Kane Barbar Shrinvatam Svakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Shrinvatam Svakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Vidyantatstoi Abhadrani Vidunoti Suritsatam Jantaksto Yabhadrani Vidunate Savitsatam Anashta Prayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Nashta Prayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtike Bhagavate Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtike Dadarajastamo Bhava Kamalobhadayaschaye Navitam Stitam Satvik Pasidati Anaditam Sitam Sate Prasidate Evam Prasanam Manaso Bhagavati Yogataha Evam Prasanam Manaso Bhagavatattva Vijnanam Mukta Sangasya Jayate Vijnanam Mukta Sangasya Jayate Vidyate Vijayaganti Vidyante Sarva Samshayaha Vidyante Sarva Samshayaha Shriyante Chasya Karmani Drishtaivatmanishvare Shriyante Chasya Karmani Drishtaivatmanishvare Rajastamo Atitabe Paibe Nishta Rajastamo Atitabe Paibe Nishta Vidaya Abhadrasate Kuchibe Taha Vidaya Abhadrasate Kuchibe Taha Kikore Pujabo Kata Orose Chai Kikore Pujabo Kata Orose Chai Kurame Dinaina Kono Shakti Nai Kurame Dinaina Kono Shakti Nai Atacha Enicho Prabhu Kota Boli Pane Atacha Enicho Prabhu Kota Boli Pane Ye Toma Icha Koro Epare Ye Toma Icha Prabhu Koro Epare Akila Jagat Guru Vachana Seyama Akila Jagat Guru Vachana Seyama Alankrita Kariba Kamata Toma Alankrita Kariba Kamata Toma Tava kripa hai mo Kata shuddha bhave Tava kripa hai mo Kata shuddha bhave Shunya sabar shokha dukhe uchibe Shunya sabar shokha dukhe uchibe Anniyato Jari Prabhu Amare Nachate Anniyato Jari Prabhu Amare Nachate Nachayo Nachayo Prabhu Nachayo Emate Nachayo Nachayo Prabhu Nachayo Semate Dashtera Potale Jata Nachayo Semate Dashtera Potale Jata Nachayo Semate Bhakti nai Veda nai Name Kubdaro Bhakti nai Veda nai Name Kubdaro Bhakti Vedanta Name Atakoro Bhakti Vedanta Name Atakoro Bhakti Vedanta Name Satak Koro Bhakti Vedanta Name Satakoro Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada 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 ki jai. Hare Krishna, we've gone way over time and we're only halfway through. What to do? We're never halfway through. We're not even 1/1,000,000% through. Anyway, that's life. Hare Krishna.
Do you want to maybe just give a, like, even if it's not the end, give like a little
Tie up?
conclusion? Yeah.
The conclusion is absolute, but this pastime is unlimited, unending. What happened after Srila Prabhupada's arrival in Boston is impossible for a human being to achieve. That was stated by the councillor to Parliament. The Queen's councillor made that statement. He said, what your spiritual master has done is impossible for a human being to do. And he was not a devotee, he was a meat eater and a drinker. 78-year-old man or something. And he said, why I tell you that is because you don't know what you cannot understand why I say that. You can. He said that to Srila Swami. He said, you cannot understand why I'm telling you that. Because you are still a young man. You don't know what it's like when you're 80 years of age. You cannot understand how he could do that. Nobody knows. We know, of course, because you're completely pure devotee of the Lord. Krishna empowered him. Prabhupada said, I didn't write these books. Krishna wrote them. He took no credit. As you can see from this particular poem, song, Prabhupada is completely, this is the secret of spiritual life. It's not our knowledge, it's not our power, it's not our magical show, it's not our austerity, it's not where we're born or what caste we're in. These things are insignificant, of no value unless they're selflessly offered to the Lord. It's a selfless offering of one's very self, which is manifest in Srila Prabhupada personally. And this is his gift to the world. And it's the gift. I saw on a bus yesterday, we were on the way to the Rath Yatra in Boston, the bus in front. It said, be a hero. Make a gift of life. Be a hero. Make a gift of life. They were referring to an organ in your body. But that doesn't save anyone's life. We're not, by the way, we're not discouraging that. People are endeavoring to try to help each other materially. It's also needed. Hospitals and so on are there for that purpose. But spiritually it does nothing. And it's the spiritual gift that we have to give. That is all that's lacking in the world today, is spiritual or Krishna consciousness. Nothing else is lacking. We may be misusing what's there. That's another thing. But everything is there. God has provided whatever everyone needs. We just misuse it maybe. But the reality is that the missing link in this world today is, and that doesn't, we're not just speaking out of the box, we're speaking in the box. Our own lack of Krishna consciousness. That is what is lacking. One who is genuinely Krishna consciousness loves every living entity. He has no enemy. He loves everyone. He feels for the spiritual welfare, because when one is Krishna conscious, then one's sojourn, samsara cycle comes to an end. All misery comes to an end. All birth and death comes to an end. That is our human opportunity. Please take it. Hare Krishna. Thank you all for coming. I do have in my bag here, I have some magic tricks in here. We've got to finish off on a magic trick. After saying we don't take that into account very much. But we're going to produce a magic trick here. If you don't know it, don't show them. Keep that the other way so we can't see what magic tricks are inside this box. We're not going to pull out a rabbit or something, don't worry. We're going to pull out some books which will change your life. This is a book called Light of the Bhagavat. And some of you have got it, some of you haven't. It's available. I have a bag full, not a bag full, but a bag of it. This amazing book. This is a compilation based on, Srila Prabhupada was hoping to go to the West in 1962. He almost went to Japan. Someone was offering him some sponsorship to go there. They didn't come through, the visa didn't come through, the money didn't come through, different things. So he didn't go, but he produced, he had, what's the word? Petition? No, not petitioned. Anyway, asked some artists to paint these various paintings. Commissioned, you got it, commissioned. He'd asked us, our beautiful paintings there in the sort of stylish, in Chinese style, depicting the beautiful seasons, the beautiful pastimes of Vrindavan, by taking the material world around us, the seasons, the weather, the nature, the things we see, and connecting that with spiritual, Krishna conscious connections with Krishna. It's an amazing book. Beautifully, many pictures, about maybe 100 pictures in the paintings in there. It's amazing. So I got some of those available, and I think everything else, books are available on outside there. If you haven't got Bhagavad Gita, not just Bhagavad Gita as it is. What does that mean? That means, as we said earlier, the words of Krishna as he speaks them. I guess you've got various types out there, but this is the small one. You may have the bigger one out there. This is what, when we hear from a pure devotee, associating with a pure devotee is not sitting there like a statue. It means to hear and put into practice. So we hear from the book, the words of the pure devotee are here as well as Krishna's words, to help us to live Krishna's words in our daily lives, in our family, in our work, in our journeys, in every way, politics, sociology, whatever we're into. Krishna consciousness, when applied to those activities, makes everything perfect. It makes a whole different perspective. So please, if you haven't got Bhagavad Gita as it is, please get that. And if you're really serious, Chaitanya Ballabha will introduce you to the Srimad Bhagavatam, won't you? This is a magnificent 18-volume set. It's like an encyclopedia of how to live in this world and be completely transcendental and Krishna conscious, completely happy within, and Krishna conscious. It's amazing. You must look at it. I don't know if you got them. You got them here?
Yeah, we have a couple of sets.
Couple of sets. You sold all the rest.
Yeah.
Good. We just finished our Bhagavatam campaign. We didn't do many in France. We did 72. We didn't do many. Only 72. That's not bad for French. So they did 370 something. Hare Krishna, thank you all for coming, and there will be some little kirtan and then there will be a wonderful feast. Is that right?
Yes.
We hope so, fingers crossed.
His Holiness Janananda Maharaj Ki.